Today's gonna be a fun one. We're doing interior, and we're gonna build door panels out of a shower curtain. At least that's the plan. I have no knowledge of this. This is not stuff I usually do. Usually I just leave it a piece of cardboard or bare metal, and I just suffer. But we're working on this 57 Chevy ragtop. We're doing everything all out of order. Probably should do all the paint, body work, and all that stuff first, but instead, I want to put an interior together. So, we're going to use this shower curtain, because a bunch of people told me on the live stream, you get a heavy gauge shower curtain, so I think this was 10 bucks. You can drape it over the door, trace out what you want the door panel to look like with a marker, so we're going to do that. Then, I was going to use some like balsa board or something like that for the door panel, but let's be honest, this is a convertible with no top, so it's a roadster. Side note, I kind of want to try building a Carson top. I don't know if it would look ridiculous on a 57 Chevy, but I've tried Googling it, no one's done it, at least that I found. Anyway, I found this stuff, which is El Cheapo. This is like Coroplast kind of plastic, I guess, like you'd have for like, you know, roofing and vote for signs. So it was, I think it was 30 bucks. For a 4x8 sheet. I actually got 2 of them, one's still in the truck, and I left it outside overnight in the snow, and it's fine, because it's plastic. We're going to do that. This is my material I want to use. I got some of this. This is off Amazon. It's meant for tonneau covers and boat covering and stuff, so this is actually waterproof, and it has some sort of a kind of waterproof foam padding on the back. But we want to do something two-tone, so we're thinking that, and then plaid, because let's be honest, everyone needs a little bit of plaid. Red plaid on a red car on the top. So I'm thinking like 2/3 and 1/3 or something along those lines is the plan for that. I got a stapler off Amazon. I have no auto body or upholstery tools, so we'll see. Some short staples, can of glue, and I was thinking I was going to originally sew the two materials together, but I was like, nah, I don't want to do that. I don't have a sewing machine, I have to go deal with somebody else. So instead, I picked up these strips of aluminum from the hardware store. They're 10 bucks each for a 6-foot span, which is a bit of a rip-off, but they're super thin. And then on the internet, I saw there was some kid who was polishing up his dirt bike. I was like, well, I got wheel polish. So it starts off, it's kind of ugly, you know, whatever it may be. This section here, I just used a wire or a Scotch-Brite on. And then this side I polished. Look at that. So I'm thinking we'll use that as a divider. Glue it on there. And then, to put the whole thing together, we're going to screw it right to the door. Tri-5s actually are nailed on, so it's kind of a unique situation. But there's these, what's this called? Got it on Amazon cheap. Boat canvas snaps. So we'll see. So basically, it's a screw with a button head on the top, and then it's got this little piece you can snap on after and makes it look finished. We'll see. I've used these before. I actually used these on my 47 Chevy many years ago, and it worked out just fine. So, I think that's what we're going to do. Also have to deal with the tops of the doors. These need to be sanded, body filled, and painted black, and put back on. So we'll see how that turns out. But I'm thinking it'll look pretty good. Black, plaid, a little bit of polished aluminum. What could go wrong? Then once the interior's like all nice and perfect, I paint the dash and, you know, all the carpets all clean, then we'll start sanding and doing body work and get overspray everywhere. So let's get tracing the shower curtain. I'm excited. So here's our new panel. Well, our template to a panel. So I've wrapped the shower curtain on the top and around the back, just a few pieces of masking tape. I did run a little heater on it just to get some of the folds, the hard folds out of it. Obviously it's all folded up and it's kind of a pain. I'm sure every now and again you guys have a shower and realize that's how a shower curtain is. Take our name brand Sharpie, and we're gonna just kind of trace, I don't think it has to be perfect, but kind of the top of the panel, side of the panel, the bottom of the panel, all that. Now in this situation, we're only gonna run probably a door handle and a wing window crank. There is no door glass in it, but I mean, it's a Tri-5 panel. It's a hardtop panel. I probably won't use it again. So we will mark, so about there and about there. There might be a couple holes down the road. We can at least put them on the Coroplast. And where the handle is, we'll go from there. Now, I believe I should be able to cut one out trace it on the coroplast, and it should fit mirrored to both sides. I'm hoping. So, I'm going to trace this all out, and we'll see if we can cut it out nicely. I don't know how a shower curtain cuts. So just like that, we have a little template. Now this coroplast, it kind of has some ribs in it, so I assume it'll probably fold better one way than the other. The door has a bit of a kind of curve that goes this way, like front to back wise, so that's how we're going to put it, so the curve can kind of manage. There's not a whole lot of up and down. So next, we'll just kind of trace it out. I did have a little cut there for the door handle, so we'll get this going. I wonder if I should tape this down or something. Yeah, whatever. I think this one will probably be almost another kind of mold or another template, and we'll have to trim it to make it fit a little bit better because this plastic was a little hard to cut kind of straight. So we'll see how this goes, and then once we have this, we'll make the other one. There it is. I just drilled a little hole in it. I did have it on and off just a couple of times. I trimmed up a few little tiny bits and kind of straightened it out. But I think it fits pretty good. So we have our one kind of line-up hole, front and back. We're pretty much golden. I think it looks okay. Now, I did leave it just a little low there, and I didn't go right to the very bottom of the door with the panel. Figure once you wrap it over, it'll be okay. And up in here, there's a big piece of trim. So, I don't know. I think it'll be good. I might just retrace it and make this just a scotch higher from here to here. I should actually just mark that right now, because I'm going to trace the other side right now. Because this one, I think we're going to start to cover. What's the worst that'll happen? It all goes to hell and we're out $8. So before I decided to wrap it, I had a little thought. I'm like, maybe I should close the door and make sure it fits. So this part here, I actually had to trim in a little bit, so it'll be on the inside of the door. But once it's wrapped, I'm sure it'll be level, because it was getting in the way of the striker. Now you got to remember, this car's a little unique because the door post is from a 4-door, so it's a little custom. So I might just put a tape line on there, kind of straighten that up once it's off, but it looks okay. The bottom was good, the front was good, there's no issues there. You can just see I just kind of put this on, place it on. You'll see what it's going to do. It's going to cover quite a bit. This actually does have to go down a little, but it's kind of catching up a little bit on the panel I have it on there. So there'll be some trimming done to that piece. But yeah, there you go. Passenger side in. This is how we're going to wrap. Now the next thing I got to decide, because I want to two-tone it, the door does have a slight curve down, so I don't know if I want the two-tone to be dead level, or if I want it to kind of have a little slide. So I might put a piece of tape on it and just kind of eyeball it, but honestly I think I want it above the handle, so maybe just that top little section there. And there's not much to measure off of here, so it's going to be a lot of eyeballing. Then once we have one side, we'll use it as a pattern on the other, and then match the back up so it does something. So we are winging the hell out of this. I cut a section off pretty easy. I mean, just cut it out of diamond. That's the line I want to go with at the top. Hopefully it'll show up right there. So we're going to kind of, my thoughts are, I'll put it where I want. I'm going to run a pile of staples through the top. Then it'll be kind of in place. I can then kind of hold it up. I can then spray a bunch of glue on the panel as well as the backing. It's supposed to kind of tack up and get dry. We'll then put it down, get it all where it has to be. Then it's a matter of folding it over. Now the straight edge shouldn't be too bad. Around the corners, this stuff, it's meant to be heated up a little bit. So it might need a few cuts and stuff like that to kind of fold it over. But really, it should go, well, I can't imagine it going bad. So we'll get this lined up. And then again, this is where that aluminum strip's going to go across. So even if it's a little kind of butchered there, it'll be hidden. It's all about hiding your mistakes, right? Just like high school. Okay, not bad, not bad. Eh? It's looking like something. So I'll get that glue, spray her up. Okay, so we're using 3M super glue. It says shake it good, shake aggressively, spray both sides, allow both sides to dry until aggressively tacky, and then bond them. So that sounds about right. Okay, so it's been a few minutes. We got a nice even coat on both. I don't know, I think it's aggressively sticky. Lift the panel up and it's not wiping off, not coming off on my finger. So we'll see what happens. It's like amateur hour. Oh. Give her a little rub down. That's it. Takes anywhere from I don't know, like 15 up to 15 minutes or something like that for this glue to kind of set up. So I guess we'll give it a minute. See what happens. Okay, so I got the heat gun out. I think what we're going to do is just pull the bottom of the panel up because it's flat. Maybe it needs another minute. I don't know, I think we're sticky. So we'll fold it up and over. I'm going to start in the center. Looks all right, eh? In camera, right on. Pretty stoked on that. Learning new skills. Okay, so now we'll do the same thing down here. Alright, so we're rocketing. This turned out really nice. I'm happy with it. So this is a piece of fabric I got. Now, plaid has, for the plaid aficionado, it's got kind of like, this is more the inside, so it doesn't have, it's kind of more knitted, and the outside is more fluffy. Now, I'm thinking this fluffy side will get actually kind of gross, and this looks more like a picnic basket style, Yogi Bear. So I think that's what I want to do. This is obviously too long, but we'll get it on there, and then we'll trim it. We'll just kind of get it in line. So. Alright, she tacked right up. Now, I think what I'm going to do is just try and put it in line with this. That way just gives me kind of an easy line with the aluminum afterwards. Oh man, this stuff is sticky. So I'm thinking that's the look we're going for. Looks alright. So I'll mark this and we'll go to the other garage and we'll polish that up real nice. Nice-ish, I should say. Alright, so this is a pretty simple process. Like I said, I saw some kid polishing his dirt bike on the internet and I was like, I can do that. Now he took steel wool or Scotch-Brite and some WD-40 and sprayed on there, which I already did on the front. I did this exact process, that's why I got shiny, so I was like, all right. WD-40 seems a little funny, but you just kind of do this, and it gets kind of all the junky lines out. So we'll give her like this for a few minutes until it's all a brushed aluminum look, which honestly, probably wouldn't look too bad. You could probably just live with that, but we're going for full chrome here. So we've got the junk off and it gives this kind of brushed look, which isn't too bad, but maybe I should just go brush look the whole way instead of shiny. Yeah, that's what we're gonna do. I'm lazing out, but I also just kind of like, my heart of hearts just can't make it shiny. So I'll tell you how to do it. If you want to take it to the next level, you go buy mag and aluminum wheel polish and polish it till it's shiny, but I want this. This will look cool. Now the problem is how I'm going to attach this. I was going to try just gluing it. We'll see how that goes. But after it's on the car, because there's going to be metal behind it, I thought I could just drill a few holes, countersink them, and put some metal screws in there, if it needs it. This doesn't weigh nothing, so maybe it'll be fine. Huh? Looks pretty good, eh? So I'm happy with it. Now we're just going to kind of leave it. I'm not going to screw it all on. I'll do that probably another video or something. We'll get this one made, and I want to get the back piece made. That'll make the other two on my own, obviously. This top piece, I thought I'd be able to work with it, but I forgot I do have to lengthen it. So I have to lengthen it, and I will have to cap the front and back, because I ended up trimming this. This is all four-door stuff, and the four-door stuff doesn't quite fit on the two-door stuff, so we got to extend it, cap it, sand it, paint it, the whole deal. So that'll be another video, probably all on its own, or whatever it may be. Now what I do want to work on right away is this panel here. We'll do that next. The same thing. We'll get the shower curtain in there, get it all traced up. This is four-door doorpost, so it's a little goofy, but we'll get kind of close. We'll make it happen. That'll stay black. We'll wrap that. So I think we'll get the junk out of here a little bit. We'll pull the back seat right out of it, or the bottom, I should say. It should go pretty good. You might be able to get away with just one piece, but I did buy two of this Coroplast. We have the other door traced, so that's ready to go. We can cut that out if we want. And then, yeah, we might be able to sneak two back pieces in here, but whatever, it was $30, not the end of the world to have a little bit of extra. I wonder if I can use it somewhere else. But anyways, that's the plan. I can show you on this side. See, even though the door lines up pretty good, just the trim doesn't. The four-door was quite a bit wider when I put the post in there, so either I gotta, make something just so it looks a little better in my mind. Because this I also have set back. You can see it's not all the way to the front. So we'll have to push that ahead, lengthen it, do some goofy welding, but we're getting there. So I'll pull all this junk out. We'll get shower curtain in there, get it traced, and kind of keep giving her, but I think it turned out great. I'm really happy with it. Okay, so we got the new piece of Coroplast on the table. I use that term lightly. This is the panel, pretty simple. I traced it over there. I then went ahead and got some of this fine material. Now I just kind of, I put both panels in, I kind of eyeballed where it would be. I mean, again, there's so many curves. Like, I mean, the Tri-5 has that classic V in the quarter panel. We're just kind of winging it. The one thing I did do though, is I cut on the same line. So that way, hopefully the pattern will be in the same kind of section. Whether it makes a difference or not, I don't really know. But for me, I think it's pretty good. The diamond is super easy because it's all the same. So, same deal. I think we'll start gluing it. Put a few staples across the piece there. I might just kind of do them all together at this point, to be honest with you, because that seemed to work out pretty good. And then we'll let the kind of glue dry, flip it around, and do all that. But I think we'll just do that in fast motion this time because, well, I don't have any tips and tricks, and we already did it once. We'll get that side all in, dialed together, and I'll probably just work on the other side by myself, I'm thinking, until it's all done. And then we'll screw it all together. Plan. So it is in fact the next day. I finished all the panels. I did put this side up just to see how it was going to look, and I figured I'd show you guys how this side looks. But there you go. Panel of my life away. So it turned out really, really well. I'm out of material now, but I do want to cover the back seat with this same diamond stitch. So that just kind of gives it a look how it'll contrast. I think it'll look pretty good. We'll just make a slip out of it, nothing too crazy. Hog ring it on the back, no sewing, I don't think. And the back will be taken care of, and then like I said, I'm hoping summer swap meet season is coming. One of these days it's coming. And I'd like to get a set of bucket seats, so I can find a set of black buckets or whatever. I have to get them recovered, but that would be the ticket. Obviously repaint everything there. But I'll show you on this side just how I attached them. And then we'll do the other side. Everything's just kind of sitting together here, so I think this trim might fall off. Oh no, not bad. So I used these screws. You can see it. And they're button tops. So you put a cover on when you're done, and they're basically finished. Now, I don't think I want to do that. At this store I put on 100% to make sure it fits, but I got a lot of body work and screwing around and welding to do. Obviously, like, we got to add that. So I think they'll probably be coming off, but I just have them test fit in there, which is nice. This one has like one screw in it. It's really easy. Obviously, I just drill a hole through and I screw them in. But I'll show you on the driver's door. We'll get that fit up, put it on there. You know, we'll make it look like a car for the end of the video, and we'll probably take it all apart when we start ripping this thing down. Because after this, all the trim's going to come off, and we'll start doing a little bit of body work maybe. I did, like I said, order the stuff, but it's not here for a little bit yet, so we'll get right on to body work. Okay, so we got the door panel on now. The two window cranks, or I guess the window crank and the door pull, kind of have it lined up. All we're using, I said, like it's these little screws here, and they have a button head on them. On the inside is a Phillips, and then when you want to make them look pretty, it comes with a cap that you cap over it, and then it's just kind of decorative. I think it's kind of like a furniture thing. So all we're going to do, take our drill. I do already have two screws in there just to kind of hold it. I think what I'll probably do is one there, and then I'll do just the bottoms, just the corners, maybe one in the center or something like that, just to hold it. Now when I did it before, I measured it, divided it by, like, you know, I thought 3 would look good on the side, maybe 5 on the bottom. So you take your measurement, divide by 3, 4, 5, whatever it is, and go from there. Otherwise, there is no door pull on this door. I did mark it on the back side. At the end of the day, I have one Tri-5 has a door pull, and they're ugly and they don't really work that well. This thing has no windows, and the door handle, probably a bad habit, but I use it to close the door itself. So we'll just put a couple of screws in here. We'll just eyeball, you know, I put the corners in and then we measure in between is what I've done, and that's worked out pretty good. Drilling through this stuff, you got to be a little careful the drill bit doesn't just grab the material and rip it. So be aware of that. Otherwise, you're on your own because I don't know what I'm doing. So this stuff, I mean, obviously being softer than the plywood and whatnot, you can't just crank it right down or else it'll sandwich itself in. So snug it up, and that's it. So I'll carry on, put a few more in here. I'll do the back real quick, put the trim on, test the door, should be fine. Well, there we have it. Kind of mostly ish together. I think the aluminum kind of follows its way. Everything is kind of hidden, looks good, everything's just hanging in there. Like I said, we are waiting on the stuff to get the back. I think the diamond plate on the back seat will look just perfect, but I think that's it for now. Shower curtain door panels. So whoever told me that, terrible names, but thank you very much. It made a big difference, and I think you should do it as well. Trace your panel, put it onto, I mean, like I said, if you want to use this Coroplast plastic, or if you're going to use plywood or whatever, it's up to you. Super easy. I would like to maybe step my game up again and do some sewing eventually and stuff like that. This is fun. I enjoy it. Door opens and closes easy. That's always nice. It doesn't grab on anything. I've done that in the past. I have screwed up door panels before. I tried getting too complicated. I did with I think it was plywood, and I glued foam to it, and then I tried to stretch vinyl over it and trying to make it nice and fit everything. It was just an absolute nightmare. But this stuff went real easy. I mean, the tracing, got the idea from the live stream. Amazon supplied all the material. Actually, Scott from Cold War Motors gave me the tip about a little bit of aluminum to break it up, so I appreciate the hell of that guy too. And there you are, she's all done. So up next, stripping all, well, I'm going to do it right away after supper night, stripping all the trim off. It'll be a new video, unfortunately. Trim's going to come off, make a list of what I need. I have done, I mean, I think this thing had lower quarters on it I put on. I mean, all this is all new metal, obviously. The deck lid was good. I think I changed the deck lid. This is a 55 deck lid or something like that. But bumpers off, all those sort of things. We're going to load this thing up with filler. I'm going to pull it out of the weeds. I have an air board. Everyone's been giving me a hard time about how I do bodywork, so I have an air board. I went and picked up a bunch of sandpaper for it. I never used the air board because my little compressor wouldn't run it before. Now with that big honking one, I'm hoping I'll just run a line over here and go at it. And straighten out the best we can. Load it full of filler, primer, red, get some new trim maybe, set of wheels. It's going to be dialed. Oh, I also got to put a windshield frame in. Oh, there's a few videos left. Thanks for watching. See you on the next one.